All right, we're live. GM, everybody. Welcome to Masculinity
Hey
Liberation.
everybody.
Hey, hey. So we are going to be having on today Mattia. So we are, in the interest of time and due to unforeseen circumstances, under the clock as the power in Mattia's building has gone out, and he is running
Yes,
off
you can
of
say.
a hotspot off his phone, which is about to die. So we want to get
Yeah.
right into the content here. So I guess a brief introduction about yourself, Mattea, before we get into the meat of the content. And welcome, by the way. Love having you
Yeah,
along.
thank you. Thank you so much for having me here. Yeah, sorry about the conditions were unexpected. Hopefully we'll make it through without too much trouble. So, but yeah, an intro about me. I'm Mattia. I'm from Italy. And I've been building things for a while. I am a developer, started to code years ago when I was in high school, then went to university for studying computer science. And I've always been like building a lot of side projects in my career. Then I really got interested into web development and I started freelancing into web dev for a while. I was also a coding tutor in my university, and eventually I got interested into Web3, and that's became basically my focus. I started to work in a couple of startups in the space, in DeFi and more. And then I just decided a few months ago, like to just go full time into working on my own ideas, because that's what I always actually wanted to do. And now here I am, just working full time on several projects, and currently on Buildshare that I'm going to share with you today. Super excited about that.
Awesome. And you're actually part of Build Space, aren't you? The last couple of seasons. Have you been working on Buildshare the last few iterations, or is it something new that you brought on this season?
To show you something very new, it started 3 weeks ago, basically with a new season of Build Space. And yeah, I've been part of like basically all the seasons of Build Space since season one. And every season I've been working on a different project actually. So yeah, I happen to change often what I work on. It's just my style. But yeah, every time is something new. But yeah, hopefully this will keep going even after the season because I'm having a lot of fun and people seem to like it, and it's been great so far.
Yeah, it looks like a very intriguing project. I'm very curious to learn more about it. So I guess let's dive right into it. What do you got planned for us today?
Yeah, let's go. Okay, so I'm gonna share my screen. Let me know if you can see that.
Looks like Mattea has frozen. Let's give him a couple secs to see if he comes back on. Maybe. Yeah, if you're just coming in late, getting power in Mattea's building went out, so he's at the mercy of his Wi-Fi hotspot. So just got to wait. Oh, I guess it dropped off. Yeah, I guess we will hang here for a couple minutes more. Um, in the unfortunate event where we can't continue, we'll have to reschedule. But yeah, just hang tight. And I don't know if there's can we play any lobby music in this thing. Let's see, what is this? Maybe go flat. Doesn't see. Play some lo-fi while we wait. FYI, Mattia just messaged me saying his phone did indeed die, but the power came back in his building, so he should be rejoining soon. So stick around for a bit more. Sorry for the inconvenience, but enjoy this lo-fi music while we wait. All right, we're back.
I'm back with light.
We're back. We're back.
We've been so unlucky and lucky at the same time because my phone died and it would have been impossible for me to do this, but the light came back. So there's still a chance. There's still hope.
Hey, baby, you evened up. It's all good. It's all good.
Okay. Okay, I'll go back to share my screen. You see it?
All right. Yes, I do.
Okay.
All right, let's do it.
All right, yeah. So just gonna give a quick intro with slides, but then just jump straight into demo because I want to show you what I'm building. So Buildshare, it's basically a tool that helps builders, especially developers, to build in public, and it does it especially by helping developers to post updates on social media about what they're building to share with others. But like a quick intro first, what does building in public even mean for those who don't know? And it's quite simple actually. It just means sharing your work with the world, right? So showing what you're working on to other people. And sharing where? Actually social media mainly, simply because it's the most effective way to reach other people nowadays. And the question is now like why it matters, why to build in public, why to share what we do with other people, like what's the point? And it's because actually sharing your work with others helps you to go in the right way. And what I mean by this is that when you're working on something, if you're just building on your own, you can only think so far. You're gonna build the product how you want it to be or how you think is the proper way to be. But when it happens that when you talk with other people, you can get different perspectives and see things that like you wouldn't have seen otherwise. So people give you feedback, basically give you suggestions on how to improve your product. They tell you what they like, what they don't like, what's missing, what maybe they want to see there, like you maybe new features that you maybe haven't even thought about, right? And they also give you motivation, like seeing people that appreciate your work or just talk about your work, talk with you and give you suggestions is very motivating to keep going, while building on your own is actually not that much because you're just on your own, right? Like where people help you to craft this vision that you have. And finally, opportunities. This is very broad, but basically, just by sharing your work on social media nowadays, you have no idea what might happen and who you might meet, who might see what you shared. So opportunities means maybe you can meet potential co-founders, you can meet investors, or in general, like you meet people in the wild just because of sharing what you do. And so how did I start building in public? I just want to give a brief intro. And that's actually thanks to this company called Buildspace. And for those who don't know, a school for people that want to work on their ideas. And they run a 6 weeks program called the Nights and Weekends, where basically people work on their own ideas for 6 weeks along with thousands of other people. And they actually build in public. They just share updates on what they're working on social media. They talk to each other, they give each other feedback. And basically, I've participated in this program 4 times because they did 4 different seasons. And the 4th season of Buildspace Nights and Weekends is actually how I got started to build in public. And before that, I was doing things quite different, actually. So I was the type of guy that just was building a lot of stuff on his own. I was waiting until it was good enough to launch. Then I was launching it. Then I was trying to understand if someone would care, if people would use it, right? And turns out that sometimes people don't care, and oftentimes people don't care, and maybe other times people kind of like it, but maybe they thought it should be a little bit different. And what if I knew before what people wanted, right? That's the whole point of like talking with people early, building in public is basically the best way to do it. So I was even skeptical. Like I remember thinking, why should I even tell people my idea? Maybe they steal it, maybe they do it better. I don't know. I remember having this thought actually before applying to nights and weekends, and uh, and yeah, it's funny because now it seems stupid. But basically, I decided to just give it a try and see what happened. And it turns out that like building in public helped me so much, helped me to stay more motivated because I actually got people that cared about what I was doing. So that was helping me to go along, and instead of switching projects super often, like keep working on them because people were liking them or people were giving them feedback. And also I met a bunch of cool people by building it in public. I met very interesting people that I would have never met otherwise, probably just because maybe they reached out because they liked what I was doing, or I reached out to them because they were also showing their work. So this is just a little overview of why building in public it's so powerful, and I care so much about it. And basically, Buildshare, it's just a project that I started a few weeks ago for very fresh for Nights and Weekends season 4 actually, and I just want to help people to build in public because it's a topic that, as I said, I really care about. And I think there are so many people that maybe don't want to do it, or maybe they think it's hard because they don't know what to write, or they're shy, they don't want to post on social media, many different reasons. But it's actually not that hard. And Buildshare is just a project that wants to help those people to do it in a more effective way. And I'm just going to show you how now with the demo. So yeah, okay. You see my browser now, right? Just to make sure.
Yep.
Okay, cool. So basically, Buildshare. Um, the concept here is that like you're a developer, you want to build in public, you connect your GitHub, and every time you ship new features, Buildshare generates posts for you to share on social media to announce new features and updates to your users. And so let's set up a new project from scratch. Basically, okay, let's say we want to build a notes application, like the next Notion. So we just need to give it a name and a tagline. Let's say like the note-taking web app to maximize your productivity and organize your thoughts. So we need to tell Buildshare a little bit about what our product is, and we'll see later what is needed. And first time, we need to install a GitHub plugin, which is basically just like some stuff that GitHub created that allows you to. Okay, so I actually already have it installed, but let's uninstall it so that we can. Yeah, so we can see the whole flow. So let's do it again. Install plugin. I'm gonna install it on all the repositories. And nice. So basically now I have access to the GitHub repositories that this plugin has access to. And I can, for example, go here and search for a repository that I created for my notes application. In this case, is this one. And let's create a project, and boom. So what happens now is that every time I'm either making a commit or a PR on this repository that I connected, I'm going to get a post for Twitter automatically generated here. So let's see this in action, actually. So here's a repository. I already have it here cloned in VS Code. And Okay. Okay, let's start with a PR example. So let's say I just released a new feature. Basically, now my note-taking application supports Markdown. So I add this little Markdown editor component, which of course does nothing here, but let's pretend this is the actual new changes and stuff. So we want to make a new branch and do the PR flow. So Markdown, we created this new branch. I'm gonna say add Markdown support, commit, and publish this branch. So now we're going to create a pull request, and we just need to be a little bit descriptive with the title and description of the pull request, because under the hood, we're going to use GPT to get the content of the pull request, get the content about the product, so the tagline and the title that we give before on the installation. And based on these two things and prompt engineering, basically, we're going to generate a post for this. So let's say add Markdown support. So this PR allows users to use Markdown to write their notes. That's it. And we can create this pull request and merge it. And now we should just be waiting a few seconds, and that's done. Okay, now we have this post generated for our pull request. We can see the title of the pull request, and we can actually just go and check it out. We can see who made it. And of course, we can see the post itself. So this is what GPT generated. We can copy paste this stuff or just go and tweet it directly. So this eventually is going to be even like automatized, so maybe like automated, sorry. So for example, I can choose that like this goes directly into Twitter without even me needed to tweet, to click the tweet button here. But for now, it's just like this. And I can regenerate it if I don't like it. For example, let's see. All right, I think this is much better. Then I save it, and it's done. Now I override it. So yeah, this is the pull request flow. I know that like a lot of people don't use pull requests, maybe because they're solo devs, so that doesn't really make sense. So there is also a flow that can be used with commits. So let's also show this one. Let's go back to main branch. Let's pull new changes. Okay. All right, so let's say now we just want a simple feature with a commit. Let's say we want to, I don't know, introduce dark mode. And honestly, like I'm just gonna do a random change here because of course I'm not gonna implement dark mode now. It's actually already implemented, but whatever. And let's say add dark mode. So in this case, since we're using commits, to tell Buildshare that we want to generate a post for this specific commit, we need to use a keyword. We need to start the commit message with fit and then write the actual message. And this is because in the end, commits, most of commits are not actually like introducing new features. Maybe it's just, bug fixing or refactoring or whatever, So not all commits like deserve a post. So for now, the way that I'm doing it is that like you just use this keyword, and that's how you tell Buildshare that you want to generate a post for this commit. So let's go. Let's do it. Let's push it. And okay, this is done. Should also be a matter of seconds. Let's refresh the page, and here we are. So we got this new post for the commit. Same stuff. We can copy it. We can tweet it. We can regenerate it, and decide to save it or not. So basically, this is the main idea. When we ship new features, so by PRs or by doing commits, we get posts that let us share our work directly without having to write them from scratch again. And I wanted to make this much more advanced, where we can like give to Buildshare more info about our products. So maybe we give it the website or whatever, and Buildshare gets a lot of information about the product to make the comments, the posts even better. Or maybe we can customize the style of the tweet. So there is a lot more that can be done. But for now, basically, this started basically 2 weeks ago, so this is what I got for now. Actually, there is one more thing. We can so generate a post, let's say manually from a specific commit. So maybe I forgot to add fit, or maybe it's a commit in the past, or whatever. We just can select other commits that we have here. So I don't know, let's say updated logo. We select this one, we generate our post, and we can regenerate even here until we like it. And when we save, we have it here, and we can go and tweet it as I showed before. And yep, this is our dashboard with all the projects that we have. And this is pretty much it for the demo. So happy to answer some questions now.
Yeah, this looks awesome. Yeah, gang, if you have any questions for Mattia, please post them in the comment section. I will ask on your behalf. I got a couple questions. So that feature you were just showing, where you could scroll through all the commits, can you also do the same thing for PRs as well?
Oh, so actually,
Yes.
well, not right now. So it's a bit different because PRs by default get a commit, get a post generated. So unless it was for PRs in the past, which now I'm thinking about it, it will make sense. Yeah, it would be nice for PRs in the past, like before you install Buildshare, it still makes sense to like select those PRs and generate a processor. So for now, it's not the case, but eventually, yeah, for sure, I will add it.
Cool. Yeah, for sure. I guess, do you envision any other integrations beyond just posting on socials for Buildshare? Because I'm sure there are other ways for people to kind of get the word out that they're building, whether it's textual content or perhaps media. Do you plan to introduce other forms of media content to as support?
Yeah, absolutely. So first of all, right now it's only for Twitter. So, but I also want to add more social media platforms. So, for example, one thing that I'm really bad at is like I post consistently on Twitter, but I always forget to do it like on LinkedIn or on Instagram, the socials that I don't really like. And so I want to, and like the content is also a little bit different, like the way you need to structure it for Twitter or for LinkedIn or whatever. So I plan to add more platforms. And also, yeah, also I would like to expand beyond social media. For example, some people were suggesting to do it for like newsletters, or where you can like produce maybe a weekly post with all the features that someone shipped, where you talk about it and you explain, or like articles in general. But yeah, so for sure there is a lot that could be done, and I would love to expand it beyond social media, because you're right, like building a public is also more than that, more than just socials.
Yeah, definitely. I think a newsletter generator would be pretty awesome. Basically, you choose like 3, 4, 5 of your posts, and then get ChatGPT to generate a little newsletter post for you. I think that'd be pretty dope.
Yeah,
um,
that was
but
sick.
yeah, and is the posting limited to just public repositories, or does it also work with private ones as well?
It also works on private ones. Actually, this one, yeah, it's private. So basically, yeah, it's just you're giving permissions to this GitHub plugin to your repositories, and you can actually select which repositories you want. So let me see if I can show you, but basically, yeah, so here I selected all repositories. So it's going to include private, public ones, or I can do like only selected ones. So for example, you want to only give access to the repository of your project and nothing else. You can just select that one and it's going to work. So yeah.
Gotcha. Awesome. Yeah, I love it that you can apply it to both. Uh, I have quite a bit of public and private repos, so it'd be nice to be able to share both things if I so choose. I guess
Yep.
another question, what was the most challenging part so far, I guess, in building Buildshare? I know you've only started a few weeks worth, but are there any big things you ran through or were fighting through while you were building this first iteration?
So actually, I think prompt engineering was the hardest part, but simply because I don't like it. Like, I really don't like working on prompts. There is a like you need to know a lot about how to structure them, do a lot of trial and error. So and I still need to improve it also. So that was the part that was kind of hardest. And it's not something that I love doing, but like, of course, it's very important for this. So I took a lot of time to do this. So that's the first thing that comes to my mind. And after that, I would say, mm, I can't think of anything else that was like super challenging so far. Um, Actually, working with GitHub plugins is super easy. Like I love the GitHub. Every feature that they have is like just very easy to use, like very well documented, works instantly. So you can tell that they do products for developers. So that was pretty fun to integrate.
Oh yeah, definitely. Their docs are some of the best, and a lot of Web3 projects, cough, can take an example from that. Uh, but I suppose if somebody were wanting to use Buildshare today or follow its progress, what's the best way for folks to do that?
So to use it, just go on buildshare.io and it takes 2 seconds to log in. You just need GitHub basically. And as I show you, like creating a new project is pretty straightforward. To stay up to date, just follow me on Twitter. And there is also a Buildshare page. So my Twitter is Mattia Pomelli, and the Buildshare page is Buildshare.io. But actually, like I just created it, so I'm not posting anything there yet. But I will also post their stuff. So those are definitely the best two places.
Awesome. And I will share all those resources in the YouTube description below. Actually, they should already be there, as well as the accompanying blog post that will be coming out a little later this week. But yeah, unfortunately, we're close to time here. Just want to thank you so much, Mattia, for coming on. Really appreciate you taking the time during your busy week and sharing Buildshare with us. The universe wanted us to see Buildshare after all the
Yeah,
power struggles.
yeah. It went
Yeah.
well and then. Well, thanks so much for having me. It
Yes.
was fun.
My pleasure. My pleasure. And before everybody leaves, I just want to share the QR code for the form to fill out to claim your DevNTell NFT for being an attendee today. So typically, I set a time limit of 1 hour for these, but after some feedback from last week, maybe that's not enough. So we're going to push it half an hour. So you'll have an hour and a half from now to be able to claim or to fill out this form to claim your NFT. Mattea, I'll give you a separate link
Oh, okay, okay,
for being a speaker. But I mean, you're free to fill this one out too if you'd like.
okay.
But yes, you'll want to use a regular QR code scanner to scan this. Go to the form, fill out that form, and you will be airdropped your NFT in a few days' time. But yeah, like I mentioned, thank you again so much, Mattia, for coming on. And yeah, I'm happy we were able to get this done.
Yeah, same here. Thanks to you, Narv.
My pleasure. And yeah, all right, everybody. Happy Friday. Happy
Bye.
weekend. We'll catch you
Have a
back
great
here
day.
next week.
Bye
Yeah.
bye.
Cheers. Bye.